It is time. Game number 1 for our first matchup here for the PokerStrategy.com TSL3 round of 16. We have got here as the blue Terran, Slayer's Boxer, spawning in the southwest position, and his opponent been doing very well as of late. Fnatic.Sen, our red Zerg in the northeast. I'm DJ Wee. Joining me is Day 9. And are you excited? Game 1 has begun.
Let me check if I'm excited. Oh my god, my knees have gone out. Thank god I was sitting down at the time. This match
Thank God.
I mean, really, Sen... I mean, Fnatic couldn't be more pleased with the player. I mean, at this point, Sen, every tournament he enters, he just seems to have this uncontrollable desire to win every single game. He had a disappointing series against Marine King Prime in the GSL World Championships, where there were some huge points of vulnerability in Marine King's Prime play, but Sen, because it was such an unusual, unorthodox style, Sen I don't think was quite prepared for that. So we're gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to I guess stomach the unorthodoxy that Boxer's going to be throwing at him. Either way, we see that first drone from Sen moving right on out. That's a pretty early drone scout, and that's the sort of drone scout that a lot of Zergs will do on a 2-player map because they can get away with always having a gas steal. Or perhaps Sen is doing the reverse Zerg. He's going to build a hatch at his opponent's natural to block it and say that's what that feels like.
Yeah, so we do have the drone coming in right now. He's going to have to scoot around and try to find this barracks. Now, we also see that another barracks is being constructed over here by Boxer, so he can get some Marines out. He can float that barracks, get it closer to the proxy, and start to shoot some units up there. So drone has at least seen it, and we'll watch it lift off onto the low ground. Curious to see how soon an SCV will be moving out and up there if he'll be going for a bunker. We do have the hatchery down. It is about 45% complete right now, and I do think that Sen has a good idea what's going on now. His pool is still building here, so he's got a few moments to just sort of breathe, think about how he's going to respond to this, and of course Boxer, well, you can see what his path is.
Yeah, very clever lift play on that left side, not just with the hidden barracks, but with the double hidden barracks play in the same spot. Easy to defend and also easy to guarantee a good reinforced angle. We see that drone from Sen trying to poke around, and there's the long distance bunker. An excellent move on Xel'Naga Caverns. He's hugging that central. Oh! Loses an SCV in the midst of that control. Big blunder right there by Boxer, and look at that phenomenal control by Sen. He has just decided that he's going to lose 0 drones, and of course decision is all it seems to take for Sen to hold that off easily.
Yeah, Boxer is going to regroup over here near the gold, and I wish I would have seen maybe a bunker go up on the other side while he was dealing with that, but that's long gone now as the first lings are out. 6 more lings on the way, so Sen, it looks like he's just going to have to deal with this, and he will have a lot of units coming out, but he will decisively stop this. We do have Marines still coming, but I have a feeling that he'll be ready to go for it, or at least defend. Boxer is moving back just a little bit. No Spinecrawler going out, but we do have queens spawning. We already have our first queen at the main, second queen at the natural. Lings are going to move forward. One SCV goes to the east side of the map, and Lings are going to chase these guys all the way home.
Look at that amazing scout by Boxer. SCV popping right up into the main. Going to see no gas. Very, very convenient. Both players playing brilliantly. Sen getting a lot more lings than your typical Zerg, but it turned out to be just enough against that constant Marine production from Boxer. Likewise, we see Boxer already throwing down his expansion, doing some nice controls to continue to repel. We see the double gas going down in the main to begin getting those tech labs for those essential Marine upgrades. And interestingly, a third barracks going down. Ordinarily, you see around 4 barracks, a sort of big Marine Marauder transition, or you see players instantly go for the big factory play. But it looks like Boxer, again, going to be doing something a little bit more gentle, very much so always trusting in his own play styles, and that might look like some funky barracks placement at the front, but we know that once those add-ons pop down, Boxer's going to be safe and sound.
Yeah, and the one thing to note is that the Zerg just started getting gas, so it's still going to be a good while before he starts speed and it will actually finish. So he's just got some slow lings right there. Haven't seen any other tech to anything outside of our Lings even yet. We're just droning up right now. Overlords, drones coming out, spreading that creep, getting his 2 bases connected, and another gas is going to go down. So really opted to go for that late gas, no speed. Speed just started with more drones on the way. On the flip side, Stim just started for Boxer. So, right now, Sen really walking that fine line, but I just feel like based off of the information he's getting, his scouting out on the field, that he can do that right now. He stopped that initial push, of course, flying those barracks back. That took a good while to, get Boxer reestablished now, so he feels comfortable doing just that.
And it looks like Boxer doing a little bit of an interesting twist here, getting the 2 reactors on those barracks very fast, and per usual, there's the classic Boxer-esque building placement that's extremely important against Zerg, just nice and neatly tucked away there, so we can continue to defend that natural expansion. When you see that Stim going down, in other matchups, players have been favoring getting the combat shield first, because you can win battles maybe a little more slowly, but overall you have much more life left over at the end if you get the combat shield. But with Stim, you really just need faster units against Zerg to be able to run away from Banelings, to be able to rush up and pick off Mutalisks. So Boxer is going to be going for a little bit of a delayed, strong push. He's going to be moving out right now, but it's going to be a while until that combat shield finishes. Now moving out, a little bit of Ling juke in action out there at the front. Sen knows what's coming, and look at this. We by the ramp, we see that Fnatic MSI classic Sen third hatch there. Going to be going into big macro mode, nothing but Lings and Banelings en route.
Yeah, getting these back rocks right now. Boxer is just going to move forward, get some vision, and move back. We did have a link from Zed make his way through the mineral line of the natural of Boxer. He didn't see much of anything. Tried to make his way into the main, but there was a bunker there to get the damage, move some Marines. He is going to move forward right now, making his way to the gold. And guys, the Baneling's nest did go down, so +1 weapons happening. I'm not sure if he's actually going to make any Banelings right now. He's getting +1 melee attacks. I think he's going to wait for his hooks to finish. That, of course, being the Baneling speed, the centrifugal hooks. And so we also have a Roach Warren going down for Sen right now. For Boxer, starting to get the siege mode. His siege tank's starting to come out. Medevac starting to go. So he's going to enable himself not only with the ability to drop, but also to try to establish some sort of line of defense here with the siege tank. So we have that gold going down and the back rocks going down. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sen throw down another one. He has been droning hard for the last few minutes, so he could really get his economy booming here.
We see Boxer now taking down his own destructible rocks. Look at that nice positioning, hanging out behind the destructible rocks. And there with the Stim, retreating back. That is why you get Stim before combat shield. And look at this. We see that Boxer actually has 4 Marines at that watchtower. Wants to hold that nice and secure. Very, very cool play. Spire now halfway done. 13 Banelings are now en route, and Sen setting himself up in a very nice spot, spreading that creep very nicely. So this is looking very much so like a game that both players want to be playing. They haven't really been messed with too much. I would be surprised if either player felt like they had a strong advantage at this point. It's a pretty neutral game right now.
I would have to agree with you. I mean, the one thing we've got, quite a bit of units, and the control it looks like it's going to start favoring Boxer here if he gets more siege tanks up at the front. His siege mode is done, but also with the macro mode that Sen sort of went into, he busted out his upgrades really quickly for these Lings and the Banelings. We got +2 on the way right now, so it is really neutral. Both players showing a little bit of advantage, but how will it play out in any actual battles? Does look like a small group's going to move forward. Medevacs and a bunch of Marines. They will take out an Overlord. Lynx could come up and snipe this little group. No, the whole group meets up right there, and he does have Banelings, so this will come down to a lot to control. Tanks are going to siege up, and this is what becomes very scary for Zerg.
That push up the left alley, very weird situation that Terran will find himself in. He wants to push up the narrow alley so that way he'll be good against the Lings, but he's got to be careful. He needs to pull back in range of those tanks. The tanks are so strong, and it looks like a little bit of attack at the back, but Sen is not going to be able to engage, and there he goes. Banelings get picked off. Amazing shot by Boxer with those tanks. Spreading the Marines out. Looks like he will do a good amount of damage to those Banelings, and it looks like Sen has a couple of Mutalisks out. He will be able to pick the tank off, but will that gold expansion remain safe?
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to be able to get it. He does have 42 Lings on the way. He's going to morph some Banelings, and I think he's got to be really careful with these Mutas. We got more Marines on the way. Looks like he's going to try his damage to try to get this hatchery down at the gold. More Lings coming out, but he definitely doesn't want to just throw units here. We got Banelings morph now coming out, moving his Lings forward. There are an awful lot of Marines there, and a tank just sieged up. I think he's going to have to give that away. Note that he did put down the third at his normal third, and we do have Lings inside the main.
An amazing counterattack. This is what Sen is known for, but Boxer is trying to repair that bunker, but no, it ends up falling down. And more Marines streaming down from the main. More Marines popping out 4 at a time from those frontal barracks, getting torn to shreds. Another counterattack, and oh no, Sen's not looking. Yes, Banelings rolling in. They do some great damage to those Marines that were on the pullback. Boxer's aggression will have to be abated for a little bit, as there's some scraps of Zerglings left in the main, but the gold expansion is down. Sen is trying to flood the right side of the map. These counterattacks have made him famous as a Zerg on this map, but you know, if we look in that main of Boxer, look at how many barracks and unit producing structures Boxer has. Just an insane amount of barracks and factories, and they're trying to roll on in. The workers do end up retreating to this backside. But I'm hoping that there's just a little bit of calm so we can acknowledge the fact that Boxer has 5 barracks with reactors, 2 factories making tanks, starport with that reactor add-on, and he still has over 2,000 minerals.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, and we do have that little Terran force from Boxer that was sitting there right next to the gold. It did go down. That does mean that Sen can bring his gold back into play. He's got quite a few Lings and a few Banelings right now, but he, you know, it looked like there were some opportunities where he could have done some additional damage, and you noted that those Lings ran past a really big pack of Marines who had just stemmed, so he might have been able to take that out and then done a little bit more damage in the natural, but that's how it went down. Boxer defended it very nicely. He's now getting his gold up. The planetary is morphing right now. Got a lot of medevacs out. Free medevac.
Good night. How brutal. Good night. And I mean, if we look at the food count, we see the Boxer behind just a little bit.
Yeah.
But with the production, look at how quickly Boxer is going to be catching up. He was about 20 food behind seconds ago, and with nothing going on, catching back up rapidly. There's the Sen's Mutilus trying to harass that gold. Will not be able to pick off that missile turret with 1 health remaining. So if only he had +2 weapon upgrades, but alas, you cannot live in the past. Sen going to continue to strive forward, going to do more damage with these Mutilus, and I love a Zerg player who just picks off anything he can. Oh, the Mutilus loses focus for 1 second and just gets blasted to shreds. Ooh, I don't love that wheat.
That is the worst thing in the world. A horrible feeling. Banelings being morphed right here while we have the army of Boxer at least being somewhat cautious that there's Mutas out on the field, but he just took out a good amount here, so it does look like he's going to begin to move forward. The creep continues to spread. More Mutas are out on the field for Sen. Putting down some spine crawlers. He's going to scan, clear out these creep tumors. Mutas are going to decide not a good time to harass. I might need these in order to fight. Lings are going to move forward. Tanks are not sieged up, but they will back off. Had he had his Banelings, that could have been pretty devastating right there. Got spine crawlers up here at the gold. Looks like we might have an attack here.
Man, Boxer clearly has been practicing his Terran vs. Zerg, because there is a drop going on at the right side. That push on the left, brilliant distraction for Sen. Some target firing on the pool, does not manage to do much damage, but look at this, the drop gets obliterated, and immediately Boxer uses the opportunity to do a double-pronged attack, hitting the gold and the 4th in the top left, and all those tanks at the left flank siege up to protect him. And look at this, Banelings counter the gold, they roll into the planetary fortress, and they take it out! And Lings now swarming in from all angles. Looks like, again, Sen is going to lose the gold, but Boxer has lost his, a very odd equalization.
Oh, and you know, it makes me sad that actually there was a huge opportunity for Sen. His siege tanks were completely naked, Day. He had taken out all those Lings, moved forward as the Baneling attack happened. I feel like he probably could have sniped 2-3 tanks, which, you know, would have been great in this situation. But he's going to move forward yet again. No Banelings in this mix. There they come, but it is just too late. The siege tanks are already there doing an enormous amount of damage. Might go in for attack number 2. He's going to split those Marines up. Banelings do absolutely nothing, and the Mutas are sent in to die. 1 tank does go down, a second one almost, but those Mutas are shooed away. More Marines in the third, and right now Sen is just falling apart to Boxer's consistent aggression.
And look at Boxer just now hitting almost at 2-2, just a few more seconds, but does he even need it? Those 2-1 Marines doing insane damage. Sen now just relying on that top left set of mining. Boxer is relentless, continuing to force himself ahead, just poking up with those Marines while the tanks are sieged from behind. And good game! Sen defeated in game 1. Boxer showing us how to TVZ. An incredible play right there by Boxer. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough how shockingly many unit-producing structures Boxer had going into that game. I mean, he had 5 barracks with reactor, 2 factories with Tech Lab, the 1 starport with reactor before he started the 3rd command center. And that meant that the amount of aggression that Boxer could keep up was through the roof. You could clearly see that Sen was not prepared for that. He was not expecting it. He had an organized first counter push, but then when more units flooded out, you saw more disorganization by Sen. He was completely thrown off kilter by that insane number of units.
Well, let me ask you a question, Dave, because, you know, you talk about the amount of production that was coming out of Boxer's camp, and there was a moment where that counterattack went into the natural, and it looked like Sen was about to just do a ton of damage. He thrust the dagger, and nothing really happened there. At the end, Boxer did hold it off, but it also appeared like if he just had a little bit more to push in, then that could have like exponentially increased the amount of damage that was done. Was that a missed opportunity for Sen? Do you feel like that's where it started going downhill?
You know, it's kind of one of those funny moments where, I mean, if anyone saw the original Sen Marine King Prime on Xel'Naga Caverns, that counterattack completely won the game. And a lot of times people, it starts off as just a move. You're in a tough spot and you go, well, let me see how this counterattack works. And then it wins. And then in your next 20 games, you're like, I could always do this counterattack thing. But after a while, it needs to go from just a play to an entirely executed well strategy. Like, you need to have precision, you need to have the right amount of units. It needs to be an active decision where you're saying, do I have enough? Is the angle good? Are there too many supply depots blocking here? And Boxer was so well prepared for that, you know, I think Sen was probably a little surprised that his counterattack wasn't the same level of auto win that it was before. Again, it's that resilience of Boxer that he's really known for, because, I mean, a lot of people love to call Boxer, you know, the king of creativity, the amazing micro player, but what made him so famous was his ability to defend and manage crises with such calm. That's how he was able to bring every game to conclusion. And sure, he may have done that with some great building placement or some great micro, but at the end of the day, Boxer is a brilliant defender, and that's how he has won his championships. So I think that that's going to have to be on the forefront of Sen's mind going into these next matches, that Sen, who can't just be a Zerg who did a counter attack, he has to be a really aggressive attacking Zerg in the style of July if he wants to pick Boxer apart.
Another thing, and I agree, and another thing I do want to give credit to Boxer is that, you know, having Banelings be a crucial part of Sen's army, I feel like Boxer really handled it nicely, whether it was just the number of tanks that he had, and sure, there could have been some incorrect decisions there by Sen on when to attack, but even when his Marines were really in danger, he did a good job splitting his Marines, minimizing that damage a lot, and so maybe that TVZ practice, whatever's going on with him in the Slayer's house, is working out, because I do feel like that looked like some solid and confident Zerg play. And with that, what do you say? We move on to game number 2?
Dude, no doubt in my mind, El Doctor Wheat, I am ready. So let's go ahead and bounce directly into game 2. This is TSL round of 16, day 3 action. I am day 9, joined by DJ Wheat. We will be going into game 2 of Sen versus Boxer.